Hello, I'm Ryan Gill. I'm Senior Programs Officer here at the CFI. Welcome to the webinar for the Canada Impact Plus Research Infrastructure Fund. Just a reminder that this program is only open to institutions that received Canada Impact Plus Research Chairs. So if your institution is not applying to that program, you'll not be able to apply to the CIRF. This session will focus on the information provided in the call for proposals. Please note that more detailed instructions on how to apply in the CFI's award management system, CAMS, will be available in June, and we will hold another set of webinars for institutions that can apply to the CIRF based on the results of the chairs competition. We have a few slides to present to go over the program details, and then we'll have lots of time at the end to answer questions. Please submit your questions in the Q&A function or raise your hand at the end of the session, and we'll unmute you and you can ask your question. Following these sessions, a recording of the presentation will be posted along with an FAQ for the program. Those will both be available on our website. We'd like to put a caveat at the beginning that's also included in the call for proposals that we've not yet signed our contribution agreement with the Government of Canada for the funding for this program, and therefore there's a chance that some details may change as part of the negotiations. But we've published the call based on our current understanding of the parameters of the agreement. We'll communicate any changes once the agreement has been signed. This program is run by the Canada Foundation for Innovation. It's part of a suite of programs from the Government of Canada. The Canada Global Impact Plus Research Talent Initiative was launched in December 2025 to attract world-leading researchers to Canada with over $1.7 billion in funding. The 4 streams are to recruit research chairs, emerging leaders, and trainees. And then the Research Infrastructure Fund is designed to support chairs and emerging leaders with the infrastructure they need to establish their research programs in Canada. The CIRF, as I mentioned, is designed to provide research infrastructure to support Canada Impact Plus research chairs and emerging leaders, and to enable world-class research and translation of discoveries to real-world impact. The program has 4 objectives that are aligned with the purpose of the Research Chairs and Emerging Leaders programs. This program is not a competition. We have enough budget to provide funding to all the recruited chairs. The assessment of the quality of the chairs and their research programs will already be completed, so we'll only be assessing the need and the justification for the infrastructure and O&M support. All CIRF proposals will be submitted to the CFI in CAMS. We will be publishing more detailed instructions on how to fill out the proposals in June. The proposal will contain a budget justification for the infrastructure and O&M costs. We will also ask that you attach the 3-page proposed research program that's included in the TIPS and the chair application to TIPS. Here are the important dates for the program based on the chair application intake. Proposals are due 3 months after the chair is accepted in the Convergence portal. For chairs funded from TIPS's reversion list, we will do our best to get the CIRF proposal reviewed for the next scheduled CFI board meeting, which may be later than the dates listed here. We've included the spending deadlines here, and we'll talk about those a little more in a few minutes. The total program budget is $400 million to support the planned 100 chairs, which is how we've determined the allocations for institutions to be up to $4 million per chair that's accepted. Institutions that receive more than 1 chair can split their allocation between all the proposals that they'll be submitting, while respecting the overall allocation they've received and the $6 million limit per project. After TIPS has released the results of the chairs competitions, the CFI will contact institutions that have accepted their chair awards to confirm their allocation for the CIRF. The CFI will make final payments for all CIRF projects by March 31st, 2033 to respect the government's funding profile for this program. Institutions that have received and accepted their Impact Plus chairs can apply to the CIRF within 3 months of accepting the award. You can submit up to 1 CIRF proposal per chair, and proposals can include both chairs and emerging leaders as the researchers listed. If you haven't done so, please confirm that you have a current institutional agreement with the CFI so that you have the necessary access and approvals to submit the proposal. Proposals must explain the need for infrastructure and O&M support for the Impact Plus research chair, which should also be building on existing institutional capacity. There's no fixed ratio between infrastructure and O&M costs. As we mentioned, institutions can use their allocation to support all their chairs, while each project can only request up to $6 million from the CFI. Since projects can request capital and operating and maintenance costs in their proposal, eligible items from sections 4.6 and 4.7.1 of our policy and program guide are eligible. O&M costs do not need to only be from CRIF or CFI funded infrastructure. If your institution already has equipment that will support the chair's research program, this can be supported regardless of how it was funded. Costs can only be funded if they've been incurred after April 1st, 2026. CRIF projects do not generate IOF funds. The necessary O&M costs should be included and explained in the CRIF proposal. The purpose of the program is to build Canada's research capacity. In the case where you are planning to host equipment at a facility that's outside of your institution, please consult with them before you apply so that you have the necessary approvals before submitting your proposal. These facilities can be in Canada or internationally, depending on what's best for hosting the infrastructure to support the chair's research program. Each project will be reviewed by a multidisciplinary committee, likely based on the strategic priority area that it is aligned with. The committee will assess the justification for the budget and make a funding recommendation. Projects are not competing against each other. The CFI's board of directors will make the final funding decision at their meetings in 2027. Given the nature of the Impact Plus initiative, projects to the CRF are on an accelerated timeline for implementation. Since the CFI is providing up to 100% of a project's funds, we expect finalizations will be quick and that projects can be implemented faster than our standard approach in the PPG. The dates on the screen and in the call explain when infrastructure and O&M costs must have been incurred by. Institutions are encouraged to look for funding partners. However, they should not delay the implementation of projects since our deadlines for this program are quite strict. Like some other CFI and Government of Canada programs, there are research security requirements that need to be met at the proposal submission. Please refer to the information in the call and on our website for more details on how to address these requirements. Again, similarly to our other programs, projects that include significant investments in advanced research computing will need to be done so in collaboration with the Digital Research Alliance of Canada. Please refer to our documentation about how to address these requirements before applying. Once the CFI's board of directors has made its final funding decisions, results will be released in CANS. The Government of Canada will lead the public announcement process, and we encourage institutions to work with their channels to highlight CFI-funded research and infrastructure from the CRF following the national announcement. We're now going to open the floor to questions through the Q&A function and with your microphones, but before we do, we want to reiterate that if you feel that this program does not currently meet the needs of your chair candidates, please contact us so that we can discuss options which may better support the Impact Plus chairs. Thank you.